Hi, Vishnu. I'm audible. Yeah. So basically, back end concepts we are discussing. Sling models for the AEM backend concepts. Like we have the backend concepts are Sling models. I will show the syllabus backend concept syllabus. Then you will get the clarity. What are the backend syllabuses and all this stuff. And resources. Resource AEM AEM PPT. Like AIM console, local setup, components, templates, client lists, Sling request processing, dialog, HTL, project setup, and Sling resource measure, RT meaning rich text editor, experience fragment, content fragment. From 1 to 14, these concepts are comes under the front end. 1 to 14, these are the front end concepts. OGI, run mode, Sling models, servlets, event handler, Sling schedulers, uh, core components, query builder. From 15 to 24, these concepts are comes under the backend, pure backend, and workflows, MSM, content distribution. These are the some advanced concepts in the AEM. AEM. So now we are covering the backend concepts. Backend concepts, Sling models we are covering. Okay. Basically, Sling models are the Sling API. It is created inside the AIM architecture. So I will show the diagram as well. Sling models are the Sling API. It is one of the RESTful web framework created inside the architecture, and Apache framework. It is used to. This is the definition for the Sling models. Sling models are the Sling API. It is the one of the RESTful web framework created inside the AIM architecture, and I would say it is used to map the request to resource. I will show the diagrammatical as well. Like this is the AIM architecture. Inside the AIM architecture, we will have the three blocks. We'll have the three blocks. One and the second This is the Sling, Apache Sling. Apache Sling will take care about the Sling API, and we'll have the second compartment is the JSR content. JSR content will take care about the Node API, and we'll have the third one, that is Apache Felix. Apache Felix that will take care about OSJ API, VJ API, and this total entire structure is the AEM architecture. AEM architecture. So, to, uh, basically, the total is the AIM architecture, and within this, we'll have the three compartments. Apache Sling, it will it will deals with the Sling API, and we'll have the JSR content, like that is the Node API, and the third one is the Apache Felix, that is the OSJ API. OSJ API. Now the definition is Sling models are the Sling API, meaning Sling models are the first, it related to first compartment, and it is one of the web framework created inside the AIM architecture. So total this one is the AIM architecture. Total we have the three compartments in the AIM architecture. It is belonging to first compartment. First compartment, and it is used to map the request to resource. It is used to map the request to resource. So this is the basic definition for the Sling models. And in the Sling models, we will have in the interview perspective, the interviews will ask like how can you create the Sling models, like that they will ask. The Sling models we can create two ways. I will tell you. uh, the Sling models we can create two ways. One is at the rate model. We can convert in at the rate model adaptable is equal to resource dot class is the one way. The second way is at the rate model adaptable is equal to Sling servlet Sling HTTP servlet request dot class. These are the two ways you can create the Sling models. Normally, how will you write the Java class? Public class, the class name we can take the demo. This is the normal class. Is it? This is the normal class, and this normal class you want to convert into the Sling model. How will you convert? With the help of at the rate model. At the rate model is the annotation. We can designate. We can convert normal class into the model. At the rate model is the annotation. With the help of at the rate model, we can convert normal class into the Sling model. Sling model. In the interview perspective, they will ask how many ways we have to create the Sling model. Two ways. One one is the at the rate model adaptable is equal to resource dot class is the one way, and the second way is at the rate model equal to adaptable is equal to string http servlet request dot class. These are the two ways we can create the Sling models. And they will ask what are the annotations are attributes we have in the Sling models they will ask. So, like we have the annotations like at the rate inject, at the rate value map value, at the rate name, and at the rate OAJ service, and at the rate pay as well. We have the these kind of annotations. These kind of annotations. I will go um, one by one. Like and they might be asked. I would say, what are the injection strategies we have in the we have the injection strategy, default injection strategy, required or optional. Default injection strategy, optional or required. Optional or required. Optional meaning, for example, if you have the fields, if you don't want to inject those fields into the Sling model, in that time you should go for the optional. For example, if you have the fields, if you compulsory, you should mandatory inject those fields into the Sling model, in that time you should go for the required options. Required options. And they will ask what are the attributes or annotations we have in the Sling model. Sling model. So we have the at the rate. The first one is the at the rate inject. At the rate inject meaning, I would say, from data coming from the for data data coming from the CQ dialog. For example, you have a author and author the CQ dialog. The data stored into the JSON content, and the data you will bring back into the data bring back into the data bring back towards the HTML, towards the HTML. In the term you should go for the at the rate inject annotation. At the rate inject annotation. And I would say the second one, you know already the like the difference between sling resource type and sling super type. Sling resource type means sling colon resource type means to create the relation between node and component. And a Sling resource overtype means Sling resource overtype to create relation between two components. To create relation between the two components. So these are the properties, basic properties you know already. And then we have seen what does it mean by at the rate inject. Basically, the data coming from the CQ dialog. For example, the author, if you have the author the CQ dialog, the data will store into the JCR content, and the data bring back towards the HTML. In that time, you should go for the at the rate inject. At the rate inject. And what does it mean by value map value? For example, the component have the login form. So the component have the login form. So whenever you after giving the details, you submit as a request as a parameter to bring those parameters into the Sling model. So in that time, you should go for the value map value. The component have the form and to submit as a Sling model. So in that time, you should go for the value map value, and you will have the and at the rate named annotation at the rate named annotation. So named annotation means the JCR properties and Java variables should be matched. So sometimes what will be happen? They don't match. So in that time, should use the at the rate name and you should match both of them. JSR properties and JSR properties and Java objects should be matched. But in sometimes they don't match each other. In that time, you should match. In that time, you should match. I will show you the programmatic level and you get that. And we will have the OSG annotation, one more annotation, that is the OSG annotation. OSG annotation meaning OSG service, meaning like basically we have the services. The service Sling model is for the inject the business logic and all we will write in different file. So that is the service file. If you want to inject that service file into the Sling model, we will use the at the rate OSG service. At the rate OSG service, I will show you the programmatical as well. So this is the I would say normal class. Okay, now I will open my local AIM local instance. Local AIM.html. CRXT. I'm going to CRXT, and so for writing the component, for writing the Sling model, component is the mandatory. So for component only, we'll write this Sling model. Now, so already we know like how to create the component and all, how to create the component and all. So the for the component creation, we will have the mandatory steps. Mandatory steps. The first step is we need to take the node, create node, create node, and node type should be take. You should be take the CQ colon component, and second one is the JSON title. JSON title is the mandatory. This is the mandatory thing. And the third one, component group. And fourth one, CQ dialog. CQ dialog. And uh, here the second step is node name and file name should be the same. Should be same. Third one is the JSON title. These are the mandatory. All are the mandatory. All are mandatory. And JSON title, component group, and CQ dialog. So while creating the component, these three things, these five things are mandatory. Three and four and five. Total five. Total five. So now simply I will go to my. This is my CRX tree. I will go to here, and so instead of creating all these things, I copy existing component and I will paste here. I will paste here, and I will rename the component name like I will rename the component name into the I would say CA like that. CA is the component, and the component and file name should be the same. If I open the component, so this is the component name. If I click over the component, if you can observe, JSR primary type is the CQ colon component. While creating the node, you should select CQ colon component. That is the mandatory thing. After that, you should check with the file name and component node name should be the same. So I am renaming the file name as well. Rename. Rename also I will convert into the ca.html. Okay. So we can check like the five things, these mandatory properties is there or not there. You can check like the first thing is CQ colon component. Okay. Second one is file name and the component name should be the same. Okay. Second condition also satisfied. Third one is the CQ dialog. So CQ dialog, if I open the CQ dialog, we'll have the three fields. These are the fields. I would say article title, article description, and article image. Article image. So CQ dialog also there. Now component group and JSON title. If I open this one, JSON title is Nutella. I will convert JSON title to CA. We convert it to JSON title to CA, and then component to demo content is there. Okay, fine. Now I will drag this component to my pages. Local start, and simply I am going to demo is my project. AEM is these are all are the my projects. We retail is my project. Weekend events is my project. Demo is my project. Now I am working in the demo project. And yes, I am Ian. I am editing this page. Simply, simply I will drag the component. That is CA component. I will drag. So, see. We have added the CA component. CA component. I will open the CA component. I will open the this one and complete Control S, and then reload the page. This is the content tree. Content tree, like what are the components we have added in this page. If I open, you can observe three fields we have, three text fields we have. So if I author these text fields, like so I have authored the secure dialog, but the content is not rendering. The content is not fetching into the page. Why? Because we are not storing anywhere. So simply I will go here, and the basic thing, how will you write? Like you can take on div tag, and we can take on div tag, and the properties you can mention. Uh, First field, I would say properties dot. This variable name we will give there. Article title will close the div tag. We'll close the div tag. In the same way, we will copy this one, and this is the second field. This is the second field, and this one is the third field. This one is the third field. This one is the third field. Okay, fine. Simply, I will go here, and article. I will mention here article DES and article image. Basically, these are the variables. These variables holding the data. Like whenever you author the SQL dialog, this data will store these variables. These variables hold the data whenever author the data. Control S, and I will go here, refresh the page, refresh the page. So if you can see, now I will change some some content I am giving. Like whatever the data author will give, the data will be stored, and the data is fetching. The data is fetching. But my requirement is I want to get the same data with the help of Sling model. With the help of Sling model. Now I am fetching the data with the help of normal coding. This is the hard coding. This is the hard coding. So simply this is the I would say property, and this is the properties. With the help of properties, I am fetching the data. But this is the hard coding. In the real time scenarios, no one is recommended this kind of hard coding. Hard coding. So the scenario is we need to fetch the data. We need to render the data coming from the SQL. But this is the hard coding. So instead of hard coding, we will write the Sling model for that one. Sling model for that one. Okay. So how will you write the Sling model for this component? Say is our component. We need to write the Sling model for this CA component. So first we need to import in the CRXTE. In the CRXTE, easy for creating the components. Creating the components, we have created the component, that is the CA component, and CA component, and we need to pull the component into the local. So how will you pull the component? So I will open the Visual Studio. Mm. This is the my project AEM Guides demo. If you observe here under demo, AI apps, settings, main demo, and components. If you observe here, the CEO component is not there. CA components is not there. But we need to write the backend for the CA component. So without there is no component, how will you write? For that purpose, the component is available at the AEM server. We need to pull the component from AEM server to local. This is the IDE. Currently, the IDE don't have the CA component. We need to pull the component from AEM instance, AEM server to, so import the AEM server. So the component, we are pulling the component from the AIM server to IDE. IDE. Now you can observe CA component. CA component. For this component, right now we can write the Sling model. So I will open IntelliJ. For backend, we will write under the core, and the components are everything will be available under the UI apps. For the backend, we will write under the core, SRC, main, and we'll have the models. Simply I will go to the models. I will create one Java file. New, that is the Java, and here I will mention the Java class name as the CA. This is the normal Java class. I wanted to convert this normal Java class into the model. I will convert, we will have the annotation, that is the at the rate model annotation, and we will have the two ways. First, now I am using the at the rate resource. At the rate resource dot class. So whenever you are importing the classes, so it is, we have the lot of import packages. Among those, which will you import? Like in the diagram itself, I have the AIM architecture. Sling model, it is created inside the AIM architecture. That is the first compartment, Apache Sling. Now, whenever we are writing the Sling model, also we will import the first one, like import the classes. We can import the Sling API. Sling API. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. Next, I would say private. In the Sling model, we need to map the data from there to here. Like the data, everything will be stored. The content. If you open the content and demo, US, EN, I will tell you the like the flow. Then you will get clarity. This is the author. Your author will be there. author. So this is the secret dialog. I would say secret dialog, and this is the JSR content, and after that this is the HTML file. HTML file. Now what the author will do? Now basically what the author will do? This is the CQ dialog. CQ dialog has the text field. Text field. He have authored some text, like search like that. He authored the some text. Then so when author the text entire will be stored in the JSR content. JSR content in the form of nodes. In the form of nodes. Then we bring back those nodes into the HTML file. The We'll create the package and bring back into the we will bring back towards the HTML. HTML we will use the @inject. You got it complete flow like the author the data. The data will store into the JSR nodes, and the nodes and we will bring back it towards the HTML with the help of Sling model. We will write the one Sling model here, and there the Java variables and node should be the node properties should be the same. Then only the values assigning to the Java objects, Java variables, and those we are converting the backend into the HTML. So the entire flow is the author the data. The data is coming from the CQ dialog towards the HTML. If you want to get the data from CQ dialog towards the HTML, in that time you should use the @inject. @inject. Now I will write the @inject like private. Already you know like about the how will you what does it mean by instance variables and all. And I will show the article title. Where is the so I'm going to en and JSR content root container. I am checking under the content. So CA is my component, and if you can observe here, these are the properties. Now I am the properties and the variables should be the same. Should be the same. So control A. I'm taking this article, copy that article. I'm pasting here. I am pasting here. Article title. So which variable is this one? Total three kinds of variables we have in Java: static variables, instance variables, and local variable. Which variable is this one? Variable. This is the class name, and this is the class name. Basically, we'll have the three kinds of variables: static variable, instance variable, and local variable. So, which variable is this one? Private string is which variable? Local variable or static variable or instance variable? Hmm? In the same way, I will copy the remaining two as well. Copy from there to here and declaring those one. And the third one is same private string and control C and control V. Okay, and we'll have the okay. Hmm. These three are the variables, Java variables, Java properties. Meaning, these are the three instance variables. Instance variables. Now, these variables default value is the string. String meaning these default values are the null. Now instead of null, we are assigning the one value to this variable. How will you assign the author the data? The data will stored in the JSON nodes. That nodes data we need to assign. We need to assign into the to these variables. How will you assign? We'll have the annotation at the rate inject annotation. With the help of at the rate inject, we can assign the values. We can assign the it will the purpose of at the rate inject, it will take the data from the JSR properties. Those values will assign to these variables. You got it? Like, what does it mean by at the rate inject? At the rate inject and at the rate inject at the rate inject and at the rate inject. After that, these are the variables. We can achieve these variables with the help of getters methods only. So the getter methods is mandatory while writing the Sling models. Generate getters only and getter methods for three variables. Select these three. Select these three. Okay, fine. So I have completely written the Sling model, backend Sling model with the help of only at the rate inject annotation. I will try to deploy this one. The class name is the CA, and I have taken at the rate inject mode annotation, and I have assigned like JSR properties to the Java variables with the help of at the rate inject annotation. So build success after the build success, should go to the bundles and check the bundles as successfully deployed or not. You can check the bundles like start.html and tools. Go to the crxt, not crxt, um, localhost, localhost 4502 tools, and we will have the operations and web console. In the web console, there we have the OHA bundles and open OHA bundles controller and search for the demo. And this is our I would say jar file. Jar file meaning bundle. The backend code and component, the backend code components and all, everything will be package, and the Maven tool make as a war file where deploy the jar into the AEM server. If you can observe the timestamp, this is the timestamp, Thursday, March 28th, 8 IST 2024. So based on the timestamp, you can get the clarity like when the bundle has successfully deployed into the server. Like that, you can get the clarity. So 5 minutes back, this is not for 1 minute back. The bundle has deployed successfully into the AIM server. Okay. Now I will go to the Sling, and we'll have the Sling adapters. Okay. These are the Sling classes, and you can search for the Sling. And what is the Sling model name? CA. If I search for the CA, and totally 73 impressions will be there. In AIM geeks also will be there. Search. Search. If you observe here, com.adobe.aem.guides demo core.models.ca. This is the actual Sling model we have created. Sling model we have created. Now simply go to your CRXT and refresh the CRXT. Refresh the CRXT, and this is go to components, with the component under the components we have the CA component. We have the CA component. Open the CA component, and now write the HTML. Now write the HTML. I am writing the HTML as data SLY, and open data SLY, open, close, and here I will write data hyphen SLY use dot models equal to this path. I will give here like this path. Control C and go here and paste the path here, and now I will write div and div close, and here I will write first field colon equal to. So those are the three are the instance variable. How will you access the instance variable? With the help of object. I'm creating the object. This is the I'm creating the object. Models is the object for the backend class. So with the help of this object, I am I am calling, I am accessing the three instance variables. So we'll have the slightly tag and model model dot, and in the content we'll have the article title. Article title. And the same way, Control C, Control V, and third one as well. This is the second field, second field, and this is the third field, third field. Here I will write description, and here I will write the image. Image. Okay. Control S, and simply I will go to the page. I will go to the EM page, refresh the page. So first field, second field. If I author the data, if I author the data should be the data should be render here. Uh, we are not giving models dot control S, and simply go here, refresh the page. Yeah, if you can see, if you can see. So when the author the data stored into the JSR node. The JSR node properties we should bring back into the towards HTML. In that time, we should go for the Sling models. Sling models. You got it about the Sling models. Like we covered only at the rate inject, and the remaining will cover in the next session. Got it like about the Sling model, and today we about the at the rate inject, like how the from the author to page, like towards the HTML, we are bringing the data from CQ dialog to towards the HTML. I will share this file, like this file I will share about the Sling model. Please go through it. Tomorrow we'll cover the remaining annotations as well. You only hmm? uh, same timings. Morning in Indian standards 8 a.m. Mm. That's same time. Evenings are same. I hope 9 p.m. 9 p.m. So we'll catch up. I will share this document. So today we have covered only one annotation. So the remaining annotations we will cover the next session. So please practice. Practice is very important. So if you don't do the practice, you can't catch the next sessions. So please do the practice multiple times. The more you do, you can get. Without practicing, you can't understand the process and everything. Please do the practice, okay?